Hello, everyone. This is Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur, and it is Tuesday, and it's time for Soul Sunday Reloaded. So, while I'm waiting for Allison to start watching so I can invite her on, um, quick for my replay viewers, if you happen to catch this on the replay, please be sure to comment your name and where you're watching from so we can thank you for tuning in. With Soul Sunday Reloaded, Allison and I, we normally do this on Sunday, but we decided to do it an additional day of the week. So instead of just Sundays, we also do Tuesdays. So regular Soul Sunday is, of course, on Sunday, and then on Tuesday we have Soul Sunday Reloaded. So again, while I'm waiting for Allison, just a quick background of what Soul Sunday is. Allison and I started Soul Sunday back November of last year, where basically every Sunday we go live and we discuss different topics that most people don't discuss. But because we discuss them, Allison and I, we sometimes have a very unique point of view on some things, and we share that with you. So, yeah, I'm just waiting on Allison to come on. Hey, Derek. Hey, Tony. Hey, Joe. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. While I'm waiting for Allison to start watching so I can invite her on, I'll give a little bit of a background of who I am. I am Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur. I'm author of the Goddess Grind book series, which focuses on you becoming the best version of you in order to manifest success personally as well as professionally. And I'm also the creator of Soul Therapy Radio with Ruby and Tara, which our next show will actually air this Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And it will be live here on Facebook as well as uploaded to our YouTube channel. So if you haven't watched that first episode, definitely be sure to watch that. That is on YouTube. I've shared it on my page a number of times, and I'll actually share it again just for those that that missed it. And Allison, where are you at? This can't be Soul Sunday Reloaded and Allison is not here because it's with Ruby and Allison, which I'm sure she will be coming on shortly so I can invite her. Sometimes, she has to get Logan settled and, do her mommy duty so, she can be available and ready for this. But while I'm waiting for Allison, what we're going to talk about today, we actually started talking about on Sunday, which was relationships and mental and emotional illness, issues, healthiness, unhealthiness, and everything in between. And if you didn't watch that, definitely go back and watch it. But we did touch on a number of different things, and it was very interesting. We actually had two of our viewers that did a lot of engaging, and with doing a lot of that engaging, and with doing a lot of engaging, then Allison and I offered our input to the questions that they had. So if you want to see what their questions were or what their situations were, you definitely have to go back and watch that and check that out. And I'm still waiting for Allison. Allison, where are you? Because I'm waiting on you. Oh, there you are. Okay, let me see your invite real quick. I don't even want to hear no excuses today, Allison. Not none. You like three. But it's okay. It's okay, sis. I know how it gets sometimes. So it's cool. So while we were waiting for Allison to come in, I've already introduced myself and gave you a little bit of a background of what we will be discussing tonight. So then when Allison comes in, she can go ahead and go right into her introduction, and then we can get started. And yeah, don't mind the hair. I was trying something different with the twist, and y'all know my hair is kind of thick. So with the twist, they be looking extra. But what's up?
Hi, how you doing?
Well, hey, sis.
I am having technical difficulties. I apologize, and I still don't like the lighting. I'm gonna roll with it. All right.
You still cute. No, you still cute.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, so I've already did my introduction. I've already given a little bit of what the topic is going to be about. So you just go ahead and introduce yourself real quick so we can go ahead and get into this.
Well, I heard all of it. I don't know. We must have another delay because I've been up here since like 6:02. So I don't know what the problem is. Yeah,
Girl, I don't know either.
it's okay. What's up? Well, peace and blessings, everybody. I am Miss Allison Denise, transformational coach, speaker, author, blogger, vlogger, one quarter of the Bad Squad radio show on the Fishbowl Radio Network. And I am also right here, one half of Soul Sunday with Ruby on Sundays and Soul Sunday Reloaded happening right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We truly appreciate it. I know you can hear me even if you can't see me, but we're going to work it out because the message is more important than the photo right now.
Yes, I can see you. So we can see you.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody else can see you.
All right. Awesome.
But this past Sunday, like I said, Allison and I, we were discussing relationships and mental and emotional illness, wellness, unhealthiness, a little bit of it all. We had quite a
Yes.
bit of engagement from
Mm-hmm.
two of our viewers. And, we definitely gave our input on that. So we thank you all for engaging. Which brings me to
Mm-hmm.
our next thing. If you feel that anything that we say is beneficial, it resonates with you, or you feel somebody else may need it, please feel free to
Yeah.
share the video or invite them to watch it. We welcome questions, comments. We like it all. Hearts, likes, laughs, cries, it don't matter.
It
But
doesn't.
to go ahead and get into this topic, relationships and mental and emotional illness.
Yes.
Well, it's
Mm-hmm.
a very definitely a lot that can be said, but what I want to start with tonight is we have to take into consideration how much our relationships can affect how we think and how we feel, and then vice
Right.
versa. And when I say that because if you think about your first relationship, then you have your first relationship, you feel like you're in love, and then this and all this other stuff starts happening. And after
Mm-hmm.
that first relationship, and depending on how many firsts you have in that relationship, such as first
Yeah.
kiss, first time
Mm-hmm.
being intimate, and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that experience pretty much shapes your thinking around that particular activity. So if it was a pleasant
Mm-hmm.
experience for you, then your thoughts and your feelings and emotions are more pleasant. Whereas if that
Yeah.
experience was not so pleasant, then your thoughts and feelings and whatever will be not so pleasant. And based on those particular things, that's how you move forward in relationships and dating and so on and so forth. And when those
Mm-hmm.
particular things happen, we have to realize that our thoughts and our emotions, we carry that with us within each relationship. And depending on, let's say, for example, if in your first relationship you were cheated on, then
Mm-hmm.
of course, like women do, we always in our head replay all the stuff that, oh, well, this was a sign that he was cheating, or this was a sign that he was cheating, and blah, blah, blah. And then as you move forward in your relationships, you start looking for those signs. And if you
Yep.
see those signs, then that automatically triggers something within you. And
Mm-hmm.
or it triggers certain thoughts, it triggers certain emotions, and then you continue to go down this road, and it's just like you just get deeper and deeper into it and not ever really stopping to see what that situation is. I mean, or what triggers that, where did it come from, or anything like that. So I'm kind of going to stop
Yes.
right there, and I'm going to let Allison go ahead and chime in because she loves talking about relationships.
I do. I do. I just love love. I love love. And if anyone out there under it understands what I mean by that, you know that when you love love, a lot of times you end up being given the opposite of that. And it's designed to get you to hate it. And I don't hate love. I hate how love is mistreated. I hate how love is misused.
Mm-hmm.
I hate how love is pushed aside and beat up on, but I don't hate love at all. And so that's why I love topics like this, because it allows us to get down into the nitty-gritty of what love is versus what love isn't, and the different things that can affect people being able to give love, receive love, believe love when it's in front of them, and
Mm-hmm.
believe when it's not love, even when they really, really want it to be. And that's where mental health does come in. I do want to stop. I see a couple of new people that I know are from my side, so I want to send a shout out to Lady Tanisha Dean. Nalita, I see you. I thank you so much for tuning in. And I see Robin, me and Ruby, we love you, girl. Thank you
Yes.
so much for tuning in again. So what Ruby is saying is 100% true. It is totally based off of either your first experience with it or what the overall theme of love has been for you.
Right.
Like my first relationship was wonderful. I couldn't have asked for a better boyfriend the first time around at 15. And if I could have cloned him and given him to every woman I know, there'd be a lot less hurting women in the world. There just would. And so, so when you have that very first relationship, and I'll get into mine a little bit later as we start talking, but that was a pivotal thing for me, because as someone who had albinism, as someone who was picked on a lot, as someone who didn't have anyone almost in the city who looked like her, I excelled academically, I excelled with friends, but when it came to the romantic side and boyfriends and girlfriends, I had more disappointment and embarrassment than anything. And so when this particular gentleman came along, he just kind of changed that game, brought me, helped me to gain the confidence in that area. But unfortunately, after him, I dealt with a lot more disappointment. And so it got to the point where it seemed to be he was more having that type of experience. For me, I started to think was going to be more of an exception than the rule.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people who are out here that have dealt with that. You may have had 2 or 3 great relationships, but you got 7 or 8 that have tried to just take you out one way or the other,
Right.
and you don't even know if you want it anymore. And so if you are out there, listen to this message tonight, because between Ruby and me, we are going to get you back on track, because I refuse to let anybody give up on love. We're not going to do it. We're just not going to do it. I'm
No,
done.
we not gonna do that. The next thing that we gonna talk about is, y'all know we are on social media. And social
Hmm.
media is like a free for all. And with that being a free for all, you can put anything out there, you can say anything, you can comment on anything, you can feel any kind of way.
Hmm.
And and I'm pretty sure it's common with everybody else's timelines, but it's a lot of people out there talking about relationships, just throwing random questions out there. And we done went from cuffing season to what somebody bringing to the table to just all this other kind of stuff, continuously playing this blame game. And people have their ideas about what makes a relationship a good relationship, what makes a relationship a bad relationship, rules to relationships, the
Hmm.
how to be a good woman, how to be a good man, what a good woman need, what a good man need, all this other kind of stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I just be like, for one, I don't follow none of that. No,
Right.
I'm not married. I am happily single. No, I'm not. Well, let me not say I'm not looking, because Allison would tell me, if that's what you put out in the universe, that's what you're going to get. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
Happily single. That's not to say, it's some people that's interested and, whatever. But it's just like, if we keep focusing on what somebody bringing to the table, like I just recently made a post. Wait a minute, we so focused on what somebody bringing to the table. What kind of table is it? And
Doing Reloaded. Why y'all calling her?
I swear my sister be calling me when I be on live. Like she just know I be on live. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the table. So we so worried about what somebody bringing to the table. We not even asking what kind of table is this? Is it a coffee table? Is it a dinner table? Is it an end table? You know, it might be a pool table because y'all really claiming people out here just playing games. Now, if you talking about a pool table, what you expect? But then I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, maybe it's because maybe y'all talking about unstable. And it's like, did anybody think of that? And you wondering why relationships ain't working? Y'all so concerned about a table that is unstable. And
Yes.
like, okay, who started asking that question first? And then we get into this thing about cuffing season. Like, first of all, y'all complaining. Well, let me stop saying y'all. People be complaining about playing games and blah blah blah. First of all, if you talking about cuffing season, I ain't trying to get cuffed, especially if you talking about some handcuffs. Them the only kind of cuffs I know, other than especially something that go around your wrist. You be locked down or whatever. But if you only trying to get cuffed for a season, are you really trying to like? Are you really looking for love, or you just looking for something, just to hold you
Hey,
over?
you
Because
won't say it, but I will, but I'll be good.
I'm just saying. And this is the type of stuff, or this is the type
Mhm.
of stuff that's out here. And we like, why do we keep having these conversations about dating and relationships and then not working and all this other kind of stuff? And it's just like, first of all, if we weren't so concerned about what somebody bringing to a table, if we weren't so concerned about seasons and stuff like that, and just focusing on actually trying to connect with people and not just connecting to the point where it's just like pretty much what you bringing to the table is asking, so what you got? You got a car, you got a house. It ain't got nothing to do with mental wellness. It ain't got nothing to do with mental stability, emotional stability, or anything like that. And then you wonder why you get with this person because they got this nice car and this nice house and this nice bank account. And then you get behind closed doors 6 months down the line and they got some personal issues they done brought into the relationship. And now
Come
they made
on.
them relationship issues. And you're like, wait a minute. Where did this
Hmm.
come from? And now you stressed and now you depressed and now you dealing with anxiety and you dealing with all this stuff. And that may not even be yours. Allison?
You know I got plenty to say. So, you know, when I was listening to you talk about cuffing season and everything like that, I started thinking about a Craigslist ad that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably been about 6 or so months ago. Um, Craigslist is still up for people who are wondering. It's still up, and there are some decent places. If you're looking for like, places to live and stuff like that, it's pretty decent. But there was this one ad that ended up under the apartment for rent section. It was clearly in the wrong category.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought about it when I was listening to what you were saying. This particular ad, it was someone, I know it was a white male. He kept making sure people knew he was a white male. He was in his mid to late 40s and he already had a roommate. He was looking for another roommate, but he said he wanted it to be a female. But as I keep reading it, it's like he's building up to something because he keeps saying, you got to be, I need somebody who's mature. I need somebody that's open minded. I'm like, well, I get that y'all going to be living under the same roof, but what are you trying to say? So as you read down the particular post he put up or the ad he put up, he's looking for a roommate to share the same bed with him. Bed. Both of the bedrooms are taken by him and his other female roommate,
Sorry.
but they need money. So he wants another roommate to pay for half of the rent and they share the same bed.
Uh-huh.
And I just kept I thought about that when you were talking about the cuffing season and stuff because it's indicative of what a lot of people want to do now when it comes to, I can't even say dating, it's just exchange with the opposite sex or same sex if that's what you're into. But it has boiled down to nothing more than physical gratification, some type of emotional security without emotional investment, and just overall selfishness and defensiveness. That post was stupid. I don't think he's listening, but if he is, your post was stupid. And the reason that, what Ruby is saying is so important is because I get that a lot of us have been hurt. I could tell y'all stories. I have friends who could tell y'all stories. Y'all have friends who could tell me stories. And none of them are less important. We all have a series of painful situations, people who mistreated us, and we don't understand why. A lot of us still have relationships we had to walk away from, and we got more questions than answers to this day. I get that you don't want to add to that list. I don't want to add to that list. But what I really hope that what I do through my organization and on my Facebook Lives, and what I hope Ruby and I do when we talk about relationships and mental health, what I hope that we're doing is showing you guys that it basically does boil down to energetic level and willingness. Now, Ruby, she joked, but she's right. I will tell her, no, don't say that you're not looking. Don't say that you just want whatever, because the universe is going to send you whatever. And she's right. And the reason that I say that, though, is because even though I do not have another ring on my finger yet, even though I do not have another new last name, I can tell you without a doubt, as I get more clear and as I become more vulnerable and more open to things I have been scared to death to do because of what has happened in the past. As I do that, the people, well, not people, the men, let me keep the universe straight too. The men that I have connected to have been better than the man before. It has continued to improve and has continued to get better. And at some point, I'm going to get to that person that is supposed to be there, but I know that it's not going to happen because I've done it closed off, and the men got worse. I got men who were more closed off. I got men who were more selfish. I got men who were more determined to get more than they wanted to give. But once I decided to just put my toe out there and give it a shot, the men that I have dated have gotten better. And that is ultimately all we can ask for. Just get to better until we get to best for us. That
Right.
doesn't involve bank account. That doesn't involve the make and model of the car. That doesn't involve whether they went to college or high school or got the GED or the PhD. That doesn't matter. Who connects with and is up for the challenge of taking care of your heart? And and we see too many people who are using income verification, credit reports. What else have I seen? Endowment in men, breast size in women. There's too many things that people are using to keep themselves at a distance. That's all that nonsense is. It's keeping at a distance. And I'll be the first to tell you, I dated one man, one specific, and I'm not going to go into that information, but I dated one man who got everything he said he wanted when he met me, and he still didn't want to do right because he didn't think that that woman existed. And because he didn't think that woman existed, he never prepared for what to do when she came along. So when you get to a point that you keep talking about all these things that somebody has to have and has to drive and has to do for a living, you're cutting yourself off, because I guarantee you all those things that you're using to keep your guard up, you are also using to keep the right person from you. Just putting it out there.
Yes. What she said. Now, continuing on with what she said, of course, I'll be on social media and I'll be
Mhm.
scrolling. And y'all, I be coming across questions like, who, who does that apply to? Like, and I just be seeing different questions, different dating scenarios, different.
Mhm.
It's just like, basically, when I see these scenarios, and first of all, I'm questioning like, who really get And then people start responding. It's just like, okay, so why are you really responding? Are you
Yeah.
responding hoping that somebody that's going to relate to you? Are you responding hoping that somebody's going to see your post or your comment and try and connect with
Mm-hmm.
you, or whatever the case may be? But then
Mm-hmm.
I always notice it's just questions and scenarios and more questions and scenarios. And it's just like, at what point do you get to actually connecting and actively dating and solving a situation instead of throwing a question out there that addresses a problem? And it's
Yeah.
just like, even though you're throwing this question out there to address this problem, nobody's offering an actual solution of any kind. It's just pretty much people commenting what they would do in the situation. And that's
Right.
fine and everything, but it's just like, how many times can we keep having this dialogue where we say what we would do in this situation, but then everybody's still single? And then it's always going to be a situation, it's always going to be a scenario, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then we also have to think about, we want so much to be in love because we all like love. We like the idea of love. I mean, especially if it's going to make us feel good, and especially if we, have the impression that it's going to make us feel good and it's going to solve a lot of the problems that we have and all of this other stuff that love is made out to be. Then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we definitely want it and we definitely want to find it, but it's just like, really think about, how is that going to affect you mentally and emotionally, especially if you're out here looking for this thing and you're never actually finding it. It's just like, you always searching for something that doesn't exist because you don't allow it to exist. Love is not eluding anybody. Love is there for everybody. But if you want to continue to add this to your list, and that's just like another hurdle that somebody has to get over in order to get to you, just like Allison said, the more you put up this wall and have these barriers, then the more, just to keep people out, then that's more that you're doing to keep the right person from getting in. And it's just like, if you keep searching and if you
Oh,
that was
there she is.
her. um it's like, eventually, if you keep searching and you keep looking and you're trying to figure out, well, why can't I find someone, and what's wrong with this person, and what's if you keep whatever you keep focusing on, that's exactly what you get. And if you keep
Yeah.
focusing on why you can't find nobody, guess what? You ain't gonna find nobody. You're not gonna be able to
Mm-hmm.
let nobody in, and ain't nobody gonna find you. And so you're gonna be still sitting over there wondering why. And then it's gonna be like, where's my love? And you're gonna be sitting right there commenting on them posts. Oh, in this situation I would do this, and in that situation I would do that. And it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you need to stop considering situations and just do it.
That part. That part.
But I know Allison on her timeline has seen a number of different posts that I'm referring to. So,
I have.
Allison, I want you to go ahead and kind of chime in on that and, give us a little. And why is this person sending me messages? Like, no. Go ahead.
So here's the thing with the stuff that I've seen on social media, and I'll sum it up like this, and I'll give examples like Ruby did too. But you have to understand that love is black and white. You are not going to find black and white. And when I say that, what I mean is love just is. You are making a decision to love a person. That is an action as well as a word. Stop looking at the crap that says love is more about action. That's bull. And the reason that is bull is because there are some people, if you've heard of the 5 love languages, one of the love languages is words of affirmation. Stop using memes and cliches to not speak the language that the person you're with needs. If the person you're with appreciates everything that you do, but their words of affirmation is their main language, they need to hear, I love you. Stop thinking that you can outgift, outserve, outhug, outsex, outkiss. That person needs to hear, I love you. Open up your mouth and talk. And so when we talk about things like love being black or white, it is a simple decision. Here's how I operate. If I love a person, even before I get to that point, if I've made a decision to commit to that person, I'm not a flirt by nature anyway. I don't entertain flirting. I don't entertain plan Bs. I don't entertain attention from other men just in case. I don't do extra hugs and kisses. I don't do particular poses and photos that I know I only would want the person I'm dating to do with me. Called reciprocation, not being a hypocrite, not having a double standard, little stuff like that. I don't do those things. I don't go kiss a dude. I don't play the I'm married till I'm single till I'm married game. I don't know who thought that nonsense up, but if you are meeting somebody who has that mindset, drop them because they're never going to think sleeping with somebody else is cheating. They're never going to think not saying I love you is wrong. They're never going to think that not letting you into their world is good because they think that there really is married and single, and it's not. Love is black and white. Love is simply, I am going to do what I know to do and what this other person has told me needs to be done to take care of their heart and their emotions. That's not hard. What
Not at
makes it
all.
hard is when you decide to go the lazy route. The lazy route includes side chicks. The lazy route includes side dudes. The lazy route includes still entertaining people in your inbox. The lazy route still includes flirting with people when you're out. The lazy route still includes hugging up on people, letting people sit on your lap, you sitting on other people's lap, you letting other people talk more about your girl or your boy in a or your dude in a positive way than you do. Lazy route is never complimenting the person you're with, but you're real quick to compliment everybody else. Lazy route involves I'm not going to do these things that will make me vulnerable to this person because I have bought into the nonsense that as the longer I stay aloof, the more they'll want me. No, my brother, no, my sister. That's the quickest way to get rid of somebody who actually wants to be there. Lazy route includes going to these groups, answering these stupid questions that just build up nonsense and mistrust.
Mm-hmm.
I've been married for 30 years and we've been sleeping in different rooms for 15 years and she keeps bringing her boyfriend over and I'm hearing them have sex at night. What do I do? What the hell? Really? These are the questions that you have? I've been the side chick for 15 years and uh what's that question? You go to your husband's funeral, the side chick you knew about comes up with their 5 kids together and wants some help with the insurance money. Why are we asking stupid questions like this? The reason we're asking stupid questions like this is because this continues to feed that fear of being vulnerable. Oh, see? Now see, I know that has happened to somebody I know. That's why ain't nobody getting this. Ain't nobody getting this. Well, keep it all the way over there. Keep it. I'm just saying. Love ain't lazy. Love isn't selfish. Love isn't rude. Love isn't trying to keep up with every single time that you did wrong. Now, there's a difference between somebody keeping count of when you did wrong and somebody trying to prove to you that something they did hurt you. Know the difference. But moving forward, understand that love is not hard. What makes it hard is when you try to get someone to love you, which by default means I want someone to give their heart to me, but I want them to be comfortable giving their heart, their emotions, their investment, their time, their commitment, their loyalty, their faithfulness to me, but I want them to not want it back from me. I'll keep it, but I don't want to give it. That is not love. I don't care how good of a man you think a man you think you may have. I don't care what kind of a good woman you think you might have. If they are taking more than they're giving, they are selfish. Doesn't mean it's permanently, but it means for that moment that you're dealing with their behind, they got to get their act together. Love is give and take, black and white. There is no gray, there is no color, there is no what if. Side chicks aren't love, side dudes aren't love, boyfriend number two ain't love, weekend lover ain't love. That's not love. If you are looking for love, you've got to stay black and white, no matter how lonely it gets, no matter how horny you get, no matter how frustrated you get, you've got to stay black and white so that the universe can bring black and white to you. That's not hard. I'm done.
Oh, now you done.
Now I'm done.
But yes, we definitely make it harder than it has to be. And the reason I say that is because people can make up every excuse, every reason, everything why they're scared to get in another relationship.
Yes.
But all you need, for you to really want to be in love and really want to be in a relationship, you would think nothing would keep you from that. But then his hair not long enough. He don't got no beard. She ain't this. He ain't that. She ain't this. He ain't that. She ain't this. He ain't that. This and that and this and that and all of this and all of that and over there and over here and everything. And it's just like, well, clearly you don't want to be in love. You don't want to be in a relationship. And it's just like, that's why I say if you keep focusing on what's not there, what you don't have, what you're not getting, and all of this other stuff, you're never going to get it. And then mentally and emotionally, you're going to feel some type of way. You're going to be like, I can't find nobody. Don't nobody want me. Like Allison said, keep it. Then that's exactly what you're doing. When you subconsciously have these thoughts, make these lists and all this other kind of stuff, you keeping it all to yourself. And that's why you ain't got nobody. I don't see you talking about I ain't even gonna go there. I'm just not gonna go there. But anyway, another thing when it comes to mental and emotional illness and healthiness and all this other kind of stuff as it relates to relationships is effective communication, not only with your partner but with yourself. And it goes back to this list. If you have this list of everything that you want to find, but you always complaining about what you're not getting and what you don't want, you're basically telling yourself, well, you're basically focusing more on what you don't want to get, and guess what? You're getting nothing, as opposed to, oh, I want him to be this, I want him to be that, and all this other kind of stuff. Or I want her to be this, and I want her to be that. And then with this whole dating culture thing, I don't know what this culture is right now when it comes to dating. And some of the problems and scenarios and all this other stuff that I see people complaining about, I don't have these issues. And that's only because, for one, I ain't got not nan list with nothing on it. Guess what? If I don't want no man that's, for example, that ain't got no tattoos, I ain't focusing on the fact that ain't nobody got no tattoos. I'm over here looking at this one that do. I'm just saying. He's there. Oh, let me look at him and, focus on this and, converse with him and talk to him and get to know him, as opposed to focusing on all these dudes that's trying to holler at you that ain't got none. And you complaining that they ain't got none. And it's just like, well, what do you expect? If you're not effectively communicating with yourself what it is that you really want, what it is that you really need, what it is that you need to be doing to attract what you want and get what you want and focus on what you want and all this other kind of stuff, it's just like, what do you really expect?
Yep.
And then once you get him, if you don't even know how to effectively communicate with him to tell him what it is that you need, what it is that you expect, and allow him to do the same thing without judging him, without feeling some type of way behind it, without understanding that he's talking to you from his level of experience and understanding. And vice versa, she's doing the same thing. It's just like, if they tell you, like, for example, if somebody tells you, in the relationship, I experienced this. You
Mm-hmm.
can't tell them that what they experienced is wrong because that's what they
Mm-hmm.
experienced. It's just like, how you gonna argue with them about something that happened to them just because it didn't happen to you, or just because you wouldn't do that same thing. And then now
That's
you're
the
single
truth.
again. You're by yourself, and you act like you don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
You figure that out real quick. Even though I just told you what the answer is, figure that out because that's what you're gonna spend time doing. Allison, go on, chime in real quick.
Oh, I love this topic. Okay, so here's the thing. When we talk about effective communication, we do a lot of this. This is what me and Ruby are trying to get you to stop doing. When we're talking about effective communication, we're doing a lot of this, but we're not doing way enough of this. Because here's the thing, communication, if it's effective, it is involving two people. That means you too, my brother, you too, my sister. I it's been in the not so distant past, but recently, I'll just say recently, not how long ago. Recently, I was in a situation where something was happening that was triggering uh my response from a previous relationship. The previous relationship, I was mistreated a lot. I was ignored a lot. I was cast off a lot. I was neglected a lot. And I started to see signs that the same thing was happening, but I had seen enough signs to know that this particular gentleman was different. So I had a decision to make. And I'll be honest, my first initial decision, most people who knew me back home, I'm known as the cutoff queen. I mean, but I hold it with pride. I don't apologize because what people don't understand, and some of you will get this, you give people so many chances that they don't pay attention to. But the way that I operate, I put all of my effort into the relationship while I'm still in it. If I put all the effort into the relationship while I'm still in it and it is still ignored, it is still pushed to the side, when Allison gets to the point of done, she's done. There is no coming back. There is no do-over because I put all of my energy into it. I did all of my crying before the breakup. And I'm not the only person who's like that. So when I started to see these things, I had two responses. My initial response was screw him. I ain't doing this again, and I'm gonna move the freak on. And I didn't say freak, but I'm trying to be compliant and respect that Ruby don't cuss. But but that was my initial response. Now some of you would be okay with that, but see, here's the thing. That is a defensive response. If you are giving that response or you're getting that response, I need you to understand that that is a defensive response and you are not allowing effective communication to take place. That defensive response is the equivalent of I am team me. I am pro me and I am only thinking about me. You're so focused on not getting hurt that you don't understand that even when you meet the right person, and some of y'all are with the right person right now and screwing it up badly, but you don't understand that even when you meet the right person for you, there is going to be conflict. How y'all handle that conflict is going to determine if you make it or not. So for a couple of weeks, I was like, yeah, whatever, screw it. Who else can I move on to? But I calmed down. I calmed down and I started to get rational, not defensive, but vulnerable. And what I did instead was go reached out to this person and say, "Hey, here's how this is making me feel. Here is what I'm doing to combat that, but I need you to know that if we move forward further, I need to know if you can do this differently." The biggest thing with me is don't leave me in the dark. If you got crap going on, tell me. If you're having a bad day at work, a bad season at work, if you just need to be alone, tell me. But don't brush me off and act like I'm not there. That's a big deal for me. So if I see that happen, and women, you need to listen because sometimes men do withdraw. Men withdraw. They don't reach out to their boys and have 5 and 6 hour conversations like we do with our girls. So you need to make this clear to them. So I did that. It was scary. I didn't want to be vulnerable. I didn't want to put my feelings out there. I didn't want to do that because the last few times I've done it, I got slammed. But if you want different, you got to do different. And I got a different response. I got an I'm sorry. I got in here is what's happening. And I got to find out that nothing that was happening had anything to do with me, what I did, what I said, what I thought. And some of y'all walk around thinking that. What did I do now? Why isn't he calling? Why isn't he texting like he used to? How come he just sent a one-word message? What did I do? Is he mad at me? Is he seeing somebody else? Shut up. Just shut up. Because here's the thing, we will outthink ourselves right out of a relationship for no reason. We just will. And I just decided to go head on and give the communication that I want to get back. And sometimes you got to be the first one to do it. I gave communication. I want to get back, and I got a different result than I had before. Now, does that mean that I'm going to end up with this person or that things are, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. What I do know is when I made that decision, I turned the corner and I told the universe I was ready to be a grown up in a relationship. So now it can continue to connect me with other grown ups who want to be in a relationship. So just keep that in mind. That effective communication goes two ways. It's going to involve both of you being vulnerable, both of you being honest, both of you putting your scars on that table that you so focused on somebody bringing. Y'all going to have to put your nonsense on the table and see who's willing to deal with it and who's not.
Right.
But the only way you can get past that is to be honest and communicate, both listen and respond.
And that
Okay.
brings us to our next little point. We're going to try to, sneak it in real quick before we run out of time. But thank you all for watching. I'm sorry. Me and Allison just been so deep off in this conversation. Thank you all for
Yeah.
tuning in to Soul Sunday Reloaded with Ruby and Allison every Tuesday
Yeah.
at 7 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central Standard. And
Mm-hmm.
then on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. But we are discussing relationships and mental and emotional illness, unhealthiness, whatever we feel like. It got something to do with relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But with what she was saying, and Allison and I, we've actually talked about this particular next point a while back, but personal problems versus relationship problems. Um, and the reason I wanted to bring that back up again is because of course, once you find love and you are, oh, this my boo, that's my bae, all this other kind of stuff, and then life starts kicking in, then y'all start having
Mm-hmm.
these problems. Then y'all want to say, oh, well, we have this relationship problem. And it's like, okay, cool, we understand that happens. It does. But
Mm-hmm.
then you have to learn to know the difference between a personal problem and a relationship problem. If you know
Absolutely.
you have if you know you have an issue with trusting people, you having an
Mm-hmm.
issue with trusting people didn't start in that particular relationship, especially if it was something that you've been dealing with in past relationships. That's a personal problem. That's not a
Mm-hmm.
relationship problem. And that's
Mm-hmm.
something that you need to communicate, effectively communicate to whoever your mate is so they know, okay, I have to go into this particular situation knowing he or
Yes.
she has dealt with trust issues in the past. And
Mm-hmm.
is that something I'm willing to deal with? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also have to understand that if you have personal problems that you're bringing into a relationship, that person's not obligated to help you work through that or get through that. At that particular moment, they can walk away, be like, you know what, this is something that I'm not really up for handling, or I just don't want to share this with you, and or that's something I just don't want to get into. I've worked through my issues. I'm not trying to have no re-triggering. I'm not trying to, go back down that road. I ain't trying to do
Yeah.
none of that. But we
Mm-hmm.
have to effectively communicate whenever we have these personal issues that we're bringing into a relationship, whether it's financial, whether it's personal, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental. It doesn't matter what it is. And I'm like, how can you really say you want to love somebody and you want somebody to love you when one, you're not even willing to share this information with them, or you're not even open into listening to that information that they have to provide to you. Now, until
Yes.
you really ready to you are really ready to get to that point to basically just bear it all. And I'm not gonna say that you're not caring what the person thinks, but it shows that you've gotten to a point where you've accepted yourself fully and completely, and that you're ready for somebody else to do that for you. And if you can't do that for yourself, you definitely can't expect nobody else to do it.
Right.
And if they can't do it, if you've done it and then they can't do that, then why are you even still trying to make something work with them? It's not hard. You get people throw flags in your face all day, right here, right there, and you acting like you ain't seen it. Just I know you see that. I know you see that. Clearly you saw that, but you just want
You
to act
did.
like that it's not there, simply because you
Mm-hmm.
feel like, oh, he does this and she do that. No, y'all need to stop ignoring these red flags and these signs and these other signs and numbers and all this other kind of stuff. Y'all better start paying attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. It is absolutely nothing wrong with being happily single. It's nothing wrong with being happily in a relationship. But unfortunately, most people don't know how to do it. Either way. Because if we did, I wouldn't see the conversations that I see. I wouldn't see the questions that I see. I wouldn't see all of this right here that Allison say, go on. There wouldn't be a blame game. There wouldn't be
Mm-mm.
this mom is toxic because he's a deadbeat dad and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a topic for another day. But I'm just saying.
Amen. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna kind of leave it right there because we ain't got a lot of time left to wrap this conversation up. Allison.
I don't even see what time it is, so I'll try to make mine brief. Here, the biggest thing with this particular part of what we're talking about tonight. Here's what I want people to get. Um, you, how can I put it?
Uh-oh.
You have to learn that love is love, even if you have to walk away from it. A lot of times we do fall for people, and I'll tie that into what Ruby was just talking about. When you're dealing with people who have emotional issues or whatever, you need to understand that at some point, if you've hit 30, you got something traumatic that you have had to work through that has left a scar. That doesn't make that person damaged goods. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make that person unworthy of being committed to or of committing to. It doesn't. It means that that person has survived something that was designed to take them out, and they made it. But you don't get through any situation that was designed to take you out and still come on the other side a different person. You don't. What you have to decide, however, is you want to be wise about who you share those scars with. But to those of you who get the scars shared with, here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to start looking into all the various ways that it could go wrong. Now, hear what I'm saying. If somebody tells you that they've been to jail 3 times for killing their wife, go away quickly. I'm not talking about that. But if you're dealing with someone who has said that they've been cheated on, it's just like Ruby was talking about in terms of trust issues. I'm not against dating a broken man. What I've had to learn the hard way is that I can't date a broken man who is okay being broken.
Mm.
There's a difference. I can't date the man who is broken, knows he's breaking other people in the process, and is completely okay with it. That is what almost destroys me. What I can deal with is a broken man who knows he's broken, who won't feel that I'm obligated to fix him, and who simply wants someone who can at the very least be a safe space for him to heal himself. Some of you don't want that. You want a perfect man. You want a man who's never been through anything, who's never hurt, who's never cried. You want a woman who's never been hurt, never been abused, never been mistreated. Some of you, you wanted to never have sex, even though you ran through half of your county when you were younger. I'm just saying. So, what you have to remember is this: stop expecting perfection because you're not offering it either. You're not offering perfection because you ain't perfect. Now, there are certain situations that you can't deal with. I know for me, I don't have what is needed to deal with someone who has a drug problem. There are some
Mm-hmm.
sisters who, I don't have that. I don't have it within me to deal with what happens if they relapse and what happens if they come home high. What happens if they come home over the, I don't have it. So I know I can't deal with that. But what I do know is what I'm equipped to handle, I will always be willing to handle because I know that I have my own scars that I'm going to want that person to not fix for me, but not necessarily open up. Some of us, we don't need people to heal us, but we also don't need someone who's going to keep opening up the same freaking wound over and over again. Stop letting people tell you that they have trust issues and then you cheat on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's nonsense. They just told you they have trust issues. Why would you do that? They just told you that they choose to give you in terms of information. And if you feel that that is too much work, then step aside because you're not ready for a relationship. You want a Disney romance. You want something in the movie. So go watch a movie, pretend that you're in it, and live through that. But there are real people out here with real good hearts, real good intentions who have dealt with some real true pain.
Mm-hmm.
Be safe or be silent or be absent. That would probably be better. That's all I got.
And there you have it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is Soul Sunday Reloaded with Ruby and Allison. And we are here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. And we had a good conversation.
You
Allison,
did. You did.
we're going to talk about next week. Because I'm actually have to go back and read my text message that you sent me because you had a few topics in there. And I was like, dang it, I should have
I
looked at
did.
it before we started. But I didn't. But now we are to the part of the show where we have the question of the episode. Thank you, everybody, for
I like it.
tuning in.
Yes,
Now,
thank y'all.
with this particular part of the show, we ask a question, and it's actually from this game called Sip and Share. Y'all can't even see that, but it's called Sip and Share, where it's just a deck of cards that has questions on it. And pretty much, I ask the question, me and Allison both answer it, and then if you all feel you want to chime in to give your answer, then you comment it there in the section. I mean, in the comment
Hmm.
section.
Hmm.
So, today's question, I'm going to read the question twice, and then we're going to answer. Which one is harder? A, moving on, B, letting go, or C, starting over? Again, which one is harder? A, moving on, B, letting go, or C, starting over? Um,
Mm.
for me, I would say it used to be B, letting go. And that's been a while ago, like some years ago. And the reason it was harder for me to let go is because I'm the type of person where I'm going to give as much as I can. I'm going to make every effort to make it work. And if at some point if I just see that it's just not going to work, then I finally let go. Now, ain't that one of them hard. Honestly, it's just like now I'm to the point, like I said, I'm happily single. I'm to the point where it's just like, moving on, I put me first. I'm not putting me first to be selfish, but I'm putting me first
Right.
to know that I don't want to deal, and I'm not going to deal with things that I shouldn't deal with. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, whatever that may be for me. But for one, if I don't ignore like red flags and stuff like that, so it's not hard for me to move on, especially to someone that I am seriously interested in. Letting go is not hard because during the process, you getting 100% of me all the time, every time. That's what it's gonna be. And if we decide to go separate ways, then cool. I'm not gonna be mad because I was always 100 from the beginning. And it's nothing that I need to go back and rethink, nothing I need to go back and reevaluate, and nothing like that. No, it's just like, okay, you don't like me no more. That's cool. I'm not gonna be mad. Well, my feelings will be kind of hurt. I'm still a woman. I'm still human, and I still put in time and effort and whatnot. And starting over, I don't look at that as being hard either because for one, again, I don't ignore red flags. So if there's some red flags there, I'm not just gonna jump into something just for the sake of jumping
Mm-hmm.
into it. But then
Mm-hmm.
I'm also honest with myself about whether or not I'm really interested in somebody because I'm genuinely interested or not. Some people feel like they have to be obligated to like somebody and be in a relationship with somebody just because you talk to them every day. No, that's not the case at all. So, like I said, my answer was back a few years ago, the hardest thing would have been letting go. But now
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty much all kind of simple for me. Allison?
So mine are kind of they flip flop. So mine is between letting go and starting over too. And so I'm very much like Ruby. Now she didn't say this part. This is just me, but I can be kind of hard to get close to, especially after some of the relationships I've been in. I'm approachable. I'm not mean, but when it comes to just letting my guard down, it takes a lot longer than it used to.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I finally do, I'm all in. And I'm all in and I'm ready to work. I'm ready to invest. I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to understand. I'm ready to be the safe play. I'm ready to do all of those things. And when I see that it's not being returned or whatever, I have had issues letting go because what happens when you put that type of effort in, and when I put the effort in, I also add, you know, in a couple of situations, I added, prayer and meditation and all of these other things. And when you have to let go of something like that, you haven't just invested your body, you've invested your spirit, you've invested your emotions, you've invested your heart. And walking away for that, for me, when I let go of that, I walk away defeated. I walk away feeling like I failed. I walk away feeling like I didn't do enough. And all of that could be completely wrong, and in most cases it has been. I did do enough. Usually I did more than I should have,
Mm-hmm.
but because I didn't get that person to open up and to see me the way that I saw them and the way that I wanted them to see me, I walk away defeated. Now, uh that is something that I am getting better at. Before it used to be starting over because I hate the initial dating. I hate well, tell me about yourself and what do you do for a living? I'm a private person. I don't like sharing my secrets with another person. I don't like sharing my body with another person. And so that's another dynamic I have. Well, here I go. Now I got to go get naked with another person. And now I got to tell somebody else. I hate it. I hate it more than anything in life. And so starting over was hard for me. But as I said in the beginning of this broadcast, one of the beautiful things about me choosing to still choose love instead of defensiveness is that the gentlemen that I have met have gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, has made the starting over part not as big a deal anymore because I know the universe keeps sending me better. So I'm, still a work in progress with the letting go piece, but the starting over, thank goodness, has become much more easier to deal with.
Well, thank you, Allison, for that wonderful answer. We greatly appreciate it. Let me stop. Anyway, so what we gonna talk about Sunday? What you want to talk about? It's gonna be a
I don't even
surprise.
know.
It's gonna
It's
be a
gonna be a
surprise,
surprise.
y'all.
Let's
It's
do
gonna be a
that.
surprise.
Okay.
But we thank you all for spending this time with us. This is Soul Sunday Reloaded on Tuesdays
You
with
love it.
Ruby and Allison. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. But if you want to watch any of our past episodes, you can definitely go to my YouTube channel. Just search Ruby Davidson, Ruby with an I, Davidson with a V, and all of the videos are there. We have been doing this since November of last year, pretty much every
Yes.
week, with the exception of maybe 7 or 8 weeks. But that's
Mm,
still a lot of shows, a
it
lot of
is. I don't
albums
even
and
think we missed that
information,
many. Yeah.
just a whole lot. And now we're doing this twice a
Mm-hmm.
week, so it's even
Yeah.
gonna be even more. But
Mm-hmm.
you can find my website, www.thegoddessgrind.com, and there you can purchase both of my books. You can schedule a chakra consultation, you can schedule Reiki, all of that good stuff. You can find me on Instagram at Ruby D Artistry. You can find me on YouTube, like I said, Ruby Davidson. You can also, this Sunday, um, I also have my own internet radio show that I share with Miss Tara Jackson, Soul Therapy Radio. We
Hey,
will be
Terry.
live this Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, so you can check us out live here. And then right after that, I gotta rush all the way from Cobb County to back home so we can do Soul Sunday with Ruby and Allison. So you get the double
Yes.
dose of all this talking and all this information on this Sunday. And you can find us soultherapyradio.life. Allison? Really, Allison? It cut her
I
off.
got a call this time.
Oh,
My
okay.
bad.
Oh,
My
okay.
bad.
It's all right, because I done did it like 3, 4 times and you only did it once. So go ahead and do your outro, girl. Go ahead.
Peace and blessings, everybody. I am Miss Allison Denise, and we thank you guys so much for tuning in, especially those who are catching us both days. We truly, truly do appreciate it. You can go to my website, AllisonDenise.com. You can also connect with me on Facebook under Allison Denise, as well as our official pages, Allison Denise, aka the Petite Powerhouse, that's me, and 501c3 nonprofit page, the HDL Group. You can also reach me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter under Miss MS Allison Denise. Let me see. What else? What else? We're running out of time. That's all I got. I'll tell you the rest on Sunday.
But of course, Allison and I, if you want us to shout out your business or whatever, then you can reach out to us
Please do.
about advertising. Very
Mhm.
affordable, very extremely affordable. But
Extremely.
hey, that's all we got this week. Sunday is going to be a surprise topic. It might be about relationships, it might be about entrepreneurship, it might be about intimacy. Maybe we should
Don't put.
talk about, a little bit of intimacy, a little bit of, yeah.
You know what? I actually like that. Let's come up
Yeah.
with a topic related to that. I like that.
Y'all know y'all like
Trust
talking about
me.
sex. We gonna talk about sex.
We really are from a mature perspective.
Exactly. Y'all, you
Mature.
know what? We talk about stuff from a different angle. Y'all gonna be surprised. So make sure y'all tune in
Yeah.
Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Mwah. We love you. We appreciate you. We're grateful for the love and support, and we will see you on Sunday. Bye bye.
Peace.